Oh, this is Channel 10 News at 10 here with a recap of the Civil War so far with John Smith and
Chuck Flanagan. For those who do not know, the Civil War was fought between the northern states of the United States of America and the southern, which soon became the Confederate States of America. The war was fought over the saying of the word slavery. To start off, the southern state of South Carolina has seceded from the Union because of their worries of the newly elected president, Abraham Lincoln, would abolish slavery in the South, which would in time soon destroy the economy and the southern way of life. Continuing, the newly formed Confederate States of America has destroyed a supply ship going to give aid to the people of Fort Sumter, and in time, Abraham Lincoln has responded with a blockade around the South going to try to destroy the southern economy and cutting off trade with any other country. The newly formed Confederate States of America has now elected a president, Jefferson Davis, which is now ready to protect and fight for the South. One of the most famous generals of the Civil War was Stonewall Jackson, which was his nickname, because at the Battle of Bull Run, the very first one, he did not move back at any inch, not 1 foot. He was one of the best generals of the Civil War. Go back to you, John.
Thanks, Chuck. The Battle of Bull Run was also proved to be a test for all the generals of the Civil War. One example of this is General McDowell, who lost over 400 men, had 1,000 wounded, and was shortly fired afterwards because of his faulty battle plans. Later on in the war, at the Battle of Gettysburg, there was a large battle between the Confederacy and the Union, where the Union won, but both sides lost over 50,000 people, but it proved to be a turning point of the war. Shortly afterwards, Abraham Lincoln went to Gettysburg to give a speech to increase morale there and tell the soldiers that they did well and that they have to continue the fight against the Confederacy to preserve the United States of America. Back to you, Chuck.
As you all know, the Civil War was a great battle, a great war in the United States history. We need to learn from it, and I think we all need to take time and remember. Right?
That's right, Chuck.
And thank you for tuning in to the Channel 10 News at 10 o'clock. We thank you and have a good night.
Good night. Go Union.